Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a pretty special one for you. A company named SCYTHE reached out to me. I told them I was interested in doing a build, redoing my son's build just to get a little bit more airflow, a little more customization, and definitely, keeping the CPU cool. He's using the i5-9400F, so even though it's not overclockable, still it's an Intel. I definitely want to keep it cool. So this is what they recommended. We are going to be putting this into the Phanteks P300, which I have completely customized for airflow, which I'll show you as we do this build. But let's go ahead. This right here is what they sent me over, was the FUMA 2. Now this is a dual chamber cooler. It has two 120mm fans. The fan in the front is a skinny fan, a slim fan, as you can see right there, slim. And the other one is a normal PWM fan, a 120. Now what's great about SCYTHE fans, and I've used them before in the past, is they actually are very quiet fans. They got these rubber dampeners on the side, just like how Noctua would, but these right here, definitely they come in that black and gray, so it's going to look pretty good in this build. And if you're looking for that, that actually is another big thing. They also have RGB fans. I'll put all that stuff in the link down in the description. But for right now, let's go ahead and take a look what comes in the box. So it looks like right here is all the hardware. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see. Let's take everything out of the box first. So there's your slim 120 fan. That is pretty slim. Has, like I said, it has nice rubber ends on the side to reduce vibration. And these are very silent fans, so definitely is pretty neat. That's got some weight to it. All right. Obviously, this is the cooler. All right. I like the packaging. Comes really nice. Oh, did not know that in the package. Okay, great. So, top is black. That's nice, aesthetically pleasing. Oh, ain't that nice? They put a fan in between. I already have pre-installed with that another 120 in the middle. So these fins are really dense. Okay. Alright. So it looks pretty neat. I am interested to get this thing on there. Get it going. Now, one thing is, so in his build, he has, looks like they come included. There's the back plate for Intel, AMD. Look at that. Can't go wrong when they give you tools. So that's good. And dual splitter for your fan. Nothing else in there? Nope. So we got, let's see if I can get it rested up. That actually is a lot higher than I thought. Okay, so one thing that I was worried about is I did upgrade his RAM. He's actually utilizing some new RGB RAM. His is full on RGB throw up, so you'll get to see that in a minute once I put all this stuff in there. But look at that. That is really nice. Let me go ahead and just bring that over. Let me go get a close up on this. That looks really good. So this actually that is really a unique design for the fins. And you got 6 pipes on each side. That is pretty darn cool. And as you see, the tops are black, nice brushed black. That looks really cool. I like that. But like I said, onto what it comes with. Obviously, it comes with a installation guide for you. Some nice thermal paste. Can't go wrong with that. All the hardware you need. Back plates. Dual fan splitter. So pretty neat. And these are all, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but these are PWM fans, so it is going to be nice. So they will be able to be controlled by motherboard or whatever software you have if you're putting this on an older motherboard. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to go ahead, I'll bring up the build of what we're going to put this in, and we'll get to it. Alright guys, so as you can see, what we're doing here, here's his build. Actually upgraded. He's got a 1066 gig in here now. We're going from that EVGA 120 liquid cooler, the CLC. That thing's not really that good. And there's the new RAM we're using. So it's T-Force, the Delta Rs. So that's really good RAM. It's RGB. So these fans right here, They're all RGBs. You guys probably saw in the first thing, but we'll all light it up. But the big thing that I want to show is one thing with the P300 that a lot of people have issues with is the front panel. As you see, I massacred this front panel trying to see if I can maybe do some custom stuff with some airflow. It actually worked when I had it on there. I sawed it all down, you know, Dremel tooled it out, sanded it, put some mesh down. It didn't work at all. It actually was even worse. So what did I end up doing was, as you guys saw, I used that acrylic for that desk. I had some extra left over. What I did is I made him an acrylic front panel. Cut it out, put a plate down at the bottom, and it has standoffs on the side. Let's see if you can see that. Standoffs to where it gets ample amount of airflow all the way through. So that's pretty neat, and it actually works really well. Temperatures have been great. You know, fan flow has been really good for it. So that is one major thing. Plus, it looks really good and aesthetically pleasing. We'll put everything on once we get everything going. But just wanted to show you guys that. If you guys have questions about that, how I did that, you know, temperature comparisons, we're going to do that. But first off, I'll let you know, this right here, it's not expensive and it's cheap to do, especially if you can do it at your own house with just the 4 screws that you need. Drill it in there. But I digress. Let's get back to what we're going to be doing. So again, I'm going to put this in here and we're going to get this going. So stay tuned. Alright guys, just a quick update on what's it looking like. So one cool thing, they give you a nice 3M, nice soft pad on there. See if you guys can see that. Nice soft pad. Actually, you just obviously it sticks on one end, other side right here. So that way you can put it up right there. So that way it's not interfering, you know, causing any interference with, you know, metal against, you know, metal. So yeah, stay tuned. Just one, thought that was pretty neat. Not many companies go out of their way to do that, you know, to do stuff that's, you know, gonna not only take care of your system, but it's gonna last a good bit. See if you guys can see that again. There you go, black on black right there. So, but it's coming together, getting it off. Got the liquid cooler off, just going through. Put the fan back on. Let's go ahead and see that. It's gonna bring it down. As you guys can see, put the fan back on. So have the 4 RGB fans, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. Gonna look pretty good. Gotta clean off that thermal paste in there and apply some new stuff. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll get it going. Alright guys, so quick update showing you how to do this. So as you guys saw, what you end up doing is you'll just put those 4, that bracket that I showed you earlier, just throw it through the back. They come with these nice little black pieces right here, as you can see those. They have rubber on the bottom. On one side, the other side doesn't. So the one where you want to put, make sure you push down the rubber one down on it first, and they just push down all the way down. Then you have these wonderful brackets right here, and what you do, you orientate them, and you can see in the instructions, the one that you need is the 1151 socket, which is the middle socket. And what you do is you just push them on. They actually go in pretty easy, and then you just screw on. Just going to put them on there. Just got to push the back plate back in the back, and they go on with then these on top. You'll screw those down just like I did right here, 1 and 2, and then you go ahead on to your next step, which then I'll come in and I'll show you guys. So I'll get over to it. Alright guys, so now the cooler is on, and the way that I end up having to put it on there, if you look at it, the way I was showing it before in the beginning of the video, actually that portion that actually has the indent in it actually rotates to the end of the back, towards the back. Easy way to know that, look at the emblem, make sure the emblem is upright. So sorry about the lighting right there, that light, but it is pointed this way. So that way it does give the clearance to the RAM. If you guys can see that, let's see. Right there, that gives the clearance to the RAM, and actually comes down really nice and neat. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a first boot, go ahead and make sure everything's good, and I will put up the thermals of what I got once we do the boot, and I'm going to do the testing. So I'll put that all in the screenshot, make sure everything's good, and let you guys know from there. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so it's booted. Everything was good. Had it running for a little while, got it set up, ran some thermal testing on it. I'll go ahead and show you those images right here. In those images, as you can see, it doesn't get above 60 C, and the mins that you see are in the 20s. I mean, they're the high 20s, but at the same time, it's still the 20s. And that to me is a major factor when it comes to a good performing cooler, much less a good performing air cooler. Now granted, this is only a 9400F and is not overclockable, but it still requires, you know, a decent cooler to maintain those thermals. And, you know, Scythe really knocked it out of the park with this one when it comes to, one, the aesthetics of the cooler, as well as the cooling that it's actually doing. It's very quiet. See if you can hear it. The big sound of the fans are these RGB fans. Those are set on 1 speed only. So, but it's pretty nice because you can see the RAM as well as the RGB going through, so it doesn't, you know, take away from the look of the RGB RAM, so that's great. I did have to utilize, obviously, slot 1 and 3, so definitely good for you to be able to go through if you want to put all 4 sticks of RAM. Having this slim 120 fan right here really pays, you know, allows this cooler to be as thick as it is, but be able to put it into a case and be able to have all 4 of your RAM slots visible. So that's really good. Clearance on the bottom is very good too. So, you know, this isn't really that high of a GPU, it being, you know, the 1066 gig. It's still, you have good amount of room, so you could do it a little bit taller if you wanted. It is close enough up to the top to where that fan right there is a push out, so it will be pushing out the air, and then obviously you got in the back. So good, decent amount of clearance right there. I mean, all around, this fan right here, direct air inject, I mean, that, I'm pretty amazed with, one, the thermals that you guys saw in the images, and two, just, it looks great in this case. It looks like it was meant for this case. The, you know, brush black on there, as well as, you know, the accent of the gray, since I do have, you know, some gray in the graphics card. The motherboard has some gray and white. So a lot of colors going on, but of course you got the RGB going through and the red in the background. So I think overall this has been a great build. I think it's great, especially, you know, now that I've increased the airflow with the front part of the panel. So yeah, if you guys are in the market for a good cooler, good air cooler to cool off any, I would say even your overclocked 8700K to 9900K, or any K SKU that you're going to overclock, you know, definitely take a look at Scythe. This Fuma 2 is a great cooler. I'm going to definitely stand by them. It looks great. I want to make sure that I use it. I was going to stay in this build. But hey, if you guys have any questions, I'll put all the link down for everything that they have in the description below, their website. Also a link to where you can purchase this at. But hey, if you guys liked the video, make sure you throw a like up on. And if it's your first time at the channel, hey, mash that subscribe button. It really helps out. And as always, I'm Hyper for Tech. Until next time.